Previously on Not Your Normal Guy.
Are here at the Hollywood that never was and yet always will be. Now, the transition from Star Wars land into Toy Story land literally gave me a visceral response.
Oh, that is not really a very smooth transition.
It's not good. It's very like, you're in Batuu. Oh, now you know where you are. You're a toy. It makes no sense. The only way I can possibly justify it is somewhere in Star Wars land I was turned into an action figure. On our way in, we hadn't had anything to drink since lunch, so we all stopped by, got a little snack. At this point, we did stop, pulled off to kind of one of the rest areas, and got 2 tables and just kind of took some time. We were not in a rush at all at this park, and that is the cool thing with Hollywood Studios, with Magic Kingdom, with Disney in general on this trip. Even when we expected to have a 40-minute wait, we ended up with like a 25-minute wait almost always. It was almost consistently like that. That definitely makes things easier, and it makes it for a nice, relaxing day. Not to mention, then you get home at night and you have another several hours of relaxing instead of going till midnight like I used to do. Wake up at 7 a.m., get to the park by 8 for extra magic hours, and go until midnight that evening. That was my jam. And you kind of needed to do that if you wanted to see everything. Now there's maybe a bit more flexibility, even as the parks continue to kind of beef up a bit more. Now, the theming for Toy Story Land is both very cool and not cool at all, like very cheap. It's definitely one of those Dino Land USA kind of areas where, not to say that it wasn't all Imagineered, and I mean, Dino Land USA, even Dino Land USA was, it's a cool area, especially when you look at it with theming, but it was very much done on the cheap. This was done on the cheap, but kind of disguised. It's certainly not my favorite themed area. It's fun. Kids will love it. And I mean, adults will like it too. Some of the rides were so much fun. This was my first time riding Toy Story Mania, and Toy Story Mania is not anywhere near worth the hype that I thought it was. First time on Toy Story. It's been around for forever, but probably not my favorite. It's okay. But it is fun throughout the land. You can see how they use game pieces and like connects, things that kids would legitimately play with. They use those things to create the land. So the roof is a board game and the walls are cards. It's nothing that's innovative. It's certainly not one of those like 10 out of 10, never been done before kind of a thing. It's definitely been done before, but it's good. Slinky Dog Dash will be our 4th ride, but then we've also seen 2 shows, well, 1 character experience and 1 show. We've took some time to go shopping too, which is a line, and we had some food. So at this point, I'd say probably like 8 things, plus the several different lands that we've seen. I think probably 4 lands, so we're making pretty good progress today. I'm loving it. It's only 3 o'clock now too. So we have 4 more hours for us to do whatever we want, and we should have plenty of time to get pretty much everything done today. Honestly, one of our bigger lines, not that it was the biggest line of the day, but that it was longer than we anticipated it would be, was Slinky Dog Dash. I really like Slinky Dog Dash.
Ready to sing along.
You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles.
So much fun. We stay seated.
It's just a fun ride altogether. It does include a bit more cover too, so that you're not so hot. It's maybe not the best ride that's ever been made by Disney, but it's very smooth. It's fun. And I'm really glad I went on it. It's one of those rides that it's very enjoyable for me. So definitely a joyride. It's intense enough that as an adult, you're going to enjoy it, but it's not so intense that you would feel like you couldn't take your 7-year-old or your 6-year-old on it. If I brought my daughter back to Disney World, I would 100% say, yeah, let's go on Slinky Dog Dash without even hesitation. The scariest part is it goes up and down, up and down, up and down in like small bumps at one point, and that's probably the scariest part, but even that's not scary. It's just a lot of shaking your head. And this 33-year-old body didn't like it. Our next ride was Rock and Roller Coaster, and I have to admit, the lines themselves almost without fail look like they are going to be absolutely huge.
All right, we are in line for Rock and Roller Coaster. We got in line a little bit early while some of the guys went shopping, which is a great way for us to do that.
Like, to the point of, like, we're going to be in a 4-hour line. That's what it looks like. But you have to remember that there is social distancing happening and that Disney is pushing through these ride vehicles. So even though you see a line that literally goes from the very end of Hollywood Boulevard to the other very end of Hollywood Boulevard, that does not mean that that line is going to be 2 hours long. It might end up only being about an hour. I waited for Rock and Roller Coaster for probably 40 minutes, and we were halfway down Hollywood Boulevard. These lines are not nearly as big as you might think they are, and it gives you a chance to kind of hop out of line and go grab something to drink. Oh no, actually you can't do that anymore. Never mind. It is sad in the line though for Rock and Roller Coaster. You can't have that discussion with Aerosmith that you once could have. That makes me sad every time, I have to admit it. Next, we went to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I loved this ride. I just adored it. I had seen this. Unfortunately, I'd looked it up and watched through it several times. But that doesn't make it less amazing to me. It's constantly in a state of motion. It's all done through different forms of light mapping, basically. Where they're projecting, they're mapping where the projector goes. To be honest, I was kind of fascinated because I couldn't find the projectors. They've done a good job of hiding the projectors. Maybe I'm just obtuse, or maybe it's just that I was overwhelmed with all the other stimulus that was happening and I didn't really care that much. I loved it. It's a really fun ride. It's nice going back into the Grauman's Chinese Theater again. It was beautiful walking through, and then once we got inside and into the line itself, or into the ride itself, it was really cool to see. And this is a pretty new ride, so it was something I really wanted to see. Getting into that was really fun. I'm not sure that the other guys liked it quite so much. I'm not sure that they were as enamored with Mickey Mouse as I am either. So that's probably why.
Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway right now.
Definitely is a 10 out of 10. Never been done before. Promise you. You've never seen anything like this before, done in a ride format. It's worth it to go see.
We have now ridden every ride at Hollywood Studios. and we still have 2 hours to burn, but we're gonna make lightsabers with some of these guys. So I'll get to enjoy watching that happening, but that's where we're up to next.
So the guys had already made reservations. By the way, another reason to make reservations is if you want to do this, make your own lightsaber. And these guys really wanted to cash in on that and to make their own lightsaber. This was an experience. And again, I'm a fake fan. I don't really love Star Wars that much. And I was tearing up watching this, which I'm like ashamed of, which is why I told the internet right now. It's good. It's fun. It feels like a special experience, you know? Like, it's really cool. So if you love Star Wars, you got to get in on some of this. It is expensive. But like I said, it's also an experience, and it's an experience that I think you would enjoy being a part of also. You pick your own parts. There's a guy who comes in and leads you through the ceremony. You spend some time around in a circle, making that, and you can have one person watching you, which is what I got to do. I didn't pay for it. I just got to watch. Then there's a couple little tricks that happen that I did not see coming at all. And then you have a lightsaber, and it's really cool. If you have made a lightsaber, leave your comments below about what that experience was like for you. As soon as we were done, we didn't have a whole lot of time. We only had maybe like 20 minutes to the end of the park. This experience does take a while. Our friends wanted to go do a little bit more shopping. They wanted to buy some kyber crystals to go with their lightsabers, and when they decided to do that, I was like, hey, let's go. Let's go ride Smuggler's Run one more time. So we hit Smuggler's Run one more time, and it was so much fun. It was like a 20-minute wait, if even that. It may have even been less than that. It was pretty much a walk-on. But then actually we told our friends, because we just kind of ditched them because they were still shopping. They went to get on. They got fast passes. They just told them to go straight through the fast pass line. Little jerks. They actually got on it before we did, after they had gone shopping, which just ticked me off to no end because I thought I was so smart. Obviously not.
Last ride of the night.
It was a great experience. Very, very fun. And was a great end to our day at Hollywood Studios.
All right, we're done with our last ride. Black Spire Outpost is beautiful at night. I love this. It is really a pretty place to be. We've definitely had a good day today. Maybe I'll come back again soon and have some food at the cantina or a drink at the cantina. But this is just a fun place to be. I'm just kind of basking in the glow of the lightsaber.
One thing I would say is I feel like, in a way, the rides at Universal Studios are kind of more impressive. I have to admit that, especially if you're a person who is not already a bought and sold Disney fan who just absolutely loves Disney. The rides at Universal, I think, are more immersive, and I understand why people really love going there. But that doesn't mean I won't go back to Disney. And it doesn't mean I won't recommend you go either. I love it. It's a great experience. And especially now that Disney has upped their game in so many ways, especially with these Star Wars rides. Thank you guys for joining. Once again, please like, subscribe, and please comment. Tell me, when are you going to Disney? Are you going to Disney? Would you like to go to Disney? And what was your last trip like? And I'll talk with you guys again later. See ya.